Okay, Ravi, welcome again. Let's talk about the Chinese app ban and what is it all about? All this halla hulla happening in the public space. And will you please explain first what is this social media apps doing in the telecom? You know, uh, the telecom sphere. It's mostly the smartphones are popularizing it. There is a feeling that some of the telecom operators are using these apps to popularize their services and you know consuming more data by this people who never thought that they will be consuming data. So how do you look at this?
Yes, certainly. There is a huge furore in India and USA over the Chinese apps. And first, the Indian government banned some apps in June, then they banned more Chinese apps in July. And then recently they banned a third round of apps last week. And Donald Trump also has called for the sale of the Chinese TikTok and the WeChat and several of the Chinese apps. Now, the allegation is that these Chinese apps are a threat to security and privacy. And in India, they have been banned under Section 69A of the Information Technology Act, which was introduced in 2008, which allows the Indian government to restrict access to content which is deemed harmful to the national interest. So a lot of these apps have been banned, but I think that it is more of a commercial issue because there are a few apps which are being used for business purposes, such as VSend, and then there is a PDF browser. These are widely used, in fact, even by the government of India. But
So,
the bulk of the apps are basically entertainment and gaming apps which have been banned.
okay, so that comes to the question. uh, what does this apps work as for telecom operators? Are they contributing to their internet data sale?
Oh, yes, certainly. In fact, the telecom operators are encouraging the use of these apps because it encourages the customers to consume large amounts of data and access the data from through their telecom networks and internet access networks and their Wi-Fi services. So certainly the telecom operators have a huge interest in promoting these apps, especially the gaming apps and the other entertainment apps and the short video apps. In fact, barring two or three apps which are used for serious business purposes, and then there is the Chinese browser. But the rest of the apps which have been banned are all gaming apps. Now, the allegation is that these were transferring large amounts of personal data about the Indian subscribers to servers located outside India and mainly in China. And that they were therefore going to be able to monetize this data, or they were able to get a lot of information about each individual. But it doesn't seem to me that there really could be a security threat, except if the user was a senior government official or a defense official, in which case they should not be using these apps at all. But there were a few apps, such as the browsers and some of the business apps that actually come preloaded on the Chinese handsets, the Chinese smartphones. And the Indian government today is trying to develop a policy towards the loading of these apps or the preloading of these apps when they're sold, because then the consumer is not actually downloading these apps on from the Google Play Store or from the Apple Play Store, but they're actually come preloaded, and the customer doesn't have any say on whether he wants these apps or not. And some of them cannot be uninstalled without affecting other apps and without affecting other system parameters. So there is a move in the Indian government that to regulate the apps, that the apps should only be allowed to access only that for the running of the apps and to not collect any extra data.
Okay, what does this app actually do in the social sector? In fact, there are a lot of excitement about these apps like TikTok, and you find a lot of, I think the countryside people get excited by, songs, dances by women, men, all kinds of things happening. I'm not able to comprehend what is it all about and what is the business model for this.
Well, TikTok is a short video making app. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company, and it is the most successful short video app. And India accounts for about 1/4 of their customer base. Now, this app has become very popular in rural areas and among teenagers because it enables them to shoot videos of themselves and with a lot of special effects and upload these. These are usually short videos of about 15 seconds each, but these have actually driven the adoption of smartphones and handsets, as well as the usage of data and Wi-Fi in rural areas and among the youth, and in fact the pre-teens. So these and TikTok is probably the number one short video making app in the world, and its main success is because it is very easy to use. Even an illiterate person can use it. The instructions are very intuitive, and it really doesn't require a knowledge of even how to operate a smartphone much to be able to use this app and shoot selfies of yourself or video selfies of yourself and there are a lot of special effects, background music. Now, what has made TikTok so successful is that it has one of the most advanced artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning algorithms that which are so powerful that they actually are able to predict what a person likes, which he himself does not know. They know more about you than you know about yourself. So they're very good at predicting teenagers' tastes, what videos a teenager will like to watch and what videos a teenager will like to upload. And they're very good at recommending. Their recommendation engine is very good. They're very good at recommending similar videos, and they also know who the customer base is. So if let us say a 12 or 13-year-old girl uploads a video of herself, that video is shown to millions of people all around the world. So therefore a lot of teens or pre-teens, 12, 13, 14-year-olds are becoming famous, and they're actually able to earn also from the videos they shoot. The other very
To this question of they have the information, they collect information, they know your taste. How do they monetize it? Is it advertising on it, or is it subscription? What is it?
No, totally. It is totally advertising. It is totally advertising, and they are able to know so much about you that they can predict what you like and feed you more and more of what you like. And the reason a lot of companies are interested in making multi-billion-dollar bids for TikTok after Donald Trump told TikTok to ByteDance to sell off the TikTok USA, and also the Indian government has banned TikTok. And the thing is, it is because it's artificial intelligence technology is the most advanced in the world, and their data mining technology. They have huge amounts of data on each person. And so they have probably about 10 or 12,000 parameters for each person, and then they know what that person likes, and they can feed him ads, they can feed them political ads, they can monetize that, and they will know what are the products and services he's interested in. And in future, like when these become a voting age, whom he's likely to vote for, what their political views will be. So all this data can be used and monetized, and a lot of this and all this data is going to be located in servers outside India and mainly in China. So that way they can, let us say they start monitoring someone who's 12 years old, and 25 years later that person is in a power position of authority, let us say in government or in the defense forces. They will have so much information about that person right from childhood, so they can use that information to build a profile of a person, and maybe use it for government Chinese government purposes. That is the fear.
Okay, so that's fine. The information, how they use it, and it's 130 crores population in India. I don't know how they are going to get to each other, but
Yeah.
but I'm told that ByteDance was making around near around 900 crores business in India over a period of 10 years or something, which is amazing. And
Yes.
it means that the spread of this Chinese app, or especially TikTok, has reached a nook corner of India, is it not?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and it has become a lot of teenagers and people in the rural areas are addicted to TikTok, and in fact, the TikTok technologies try to be copied by Facebook's Instagram in its reels. So, other US companies and Indian companies are trying to copy TikTok's technology and methodology, but they are nowhere near the kind of sophistication of the algorithms that TikTok has. But the main question which is alarming everyone is that the amount of data that TikTok collects about each individual, so they can build a very detailed profile of each individual, and they can use it to target the goods and services that that person is likely to buy, and
But
they can influence his political views, they can influence his economic views, his religious views that way.
let me interrupt you here. When
Yeah.
you say they are collecting information about the person,
Yes.
how does that happen? Because he might be making one video on something, and mostly what I see is that it's all about what is being popular is the titillating movie making kind of thing. So what is the big information behind it? I'm not able to decipher that portion of it, that what is it actually, the serious information. I have not seen any video which is somebody is talking about some social issue or politics or society or some interaction which he had. It's mostly somebody is imitating some filmy dance. So what is the kind
Yeah.
of information mining which they are doing there?
They're getting information about your device. See, these apps, they collect information about your device. So they know what is the handset you have, what are the operating systems, what else is there on your phone. So
But
they can
again,
they know what is on your phone.
no. All the apps are doing it, is it not?
Yeah, all the apps are doing it.
So
All the apps are collecting a lot of information which is not necessary for them. Now,
yes,
what can be done is that a lot of times the advertisers put kind of secret codes into these apps, preloaded apps, by which they will be able to get information about whatever is on your phone, your contacts list, the videos you have, your messages, and everything. And even if it would take them a lot of time to go through it, from the metadata itself, they're able to build a profile of you.
okay,
Okay, so we see. Let us say there is a teenage girl who's doing dancing, but she happens to be the daughter of, let us say, a major general.
yeah,
Okay, so they will get to know that information.
okay,
or if she's the daughter of a secretary to the government of India. They will get all that kind of meta information, and therefore they can build a profile of a person who can be influenced in various ways. They know that what that person's political beliefs are likely to be, what their family members'
Yes.
political beliefs are likely to be. This is how they build psychological profiles.
Fine, fine. But
Yeah.
my question is, okay, you have the capability. We have a
Yes.
population of 135 crores. So how does it work in that maze? You have 135 people, is your market, or your subjects to make profile. Where does it fit in a technology? What kind of computer? You said that it is, machine
Yeah.
intelligence and all. That kind of huge, system, backup system. Are they, you are telling me that they have developed that, and it's possible to store that data for, let's say, 10, 15 years and work on it?
Yeah, certainly. Like right now, China is the world leader in a lot of high performance supercomputing. Many of the world's most powerful computers are Chinese owned. They're the world leaders in quantum computing, quantum communications. They're second only to the US. Then in artificial intelligence, deep learning, and machine learning. So, certainly, let us say, uh, about 0.001% of the information they come across is of value. Now that itself, 0.001% is a large. When you look at India's population, that is a large amount, number of people. So they will be able to build these kinds of profiles on a long-term basis by knowing what is on your smartphone. They can access your messages, they can access this, and what in the even 2 years ago it would not have been possible to kind of process this vast amount of data. But now they can the technologies are being developed, and within the next 2-3 years we will see technologies by which these huge amounts of data can be processed to obtain meaningful information.
Okay, so you are also saying in the process that China has surpassed even US and India, all of them in computing itself.
Yes, absolutely. China is almost on par with the US in quantum computing, quantum communications, high performance computing. In supercomputing, China is ahead of the US. And in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, they're almost as good as the US. But you've seen Chinese companies like TikTok, which have technology, deep learning technology, and machine learning technology that is far more advanced than most US companies have.
Okay, so what will be the impact of we banning such strongly or highly developed, systems? When the 5G is going to come, like India government has decided that we are going to ban Huawei, NZT, and other Chinese companies from, being even in the trial process of 5G in India. So, what will be the impact of that, given the fact that China has emerged as good as USA, and one of the reasons why Indians were preferring the Chinese technology, as you and I know, is the price, and it's
Yes, absolutely.
easy
Yeah.
loan. So what is how does that work when the ban, as far as the ban is concerned?
Well, the ban is there that you cannot download these apps anymore from the Google Play Store or from the Apple Play Store, but you can always sideload them if you get the APK files. But then you won't get upgrades of these apps, and they could be a security hazard when you are doing sideloading from APK. The APK package that's downloaded. But certainly, this opens up a kind of very good opportunity for homegrown apps, Indian apps, and for the US apps as well to come into India, because China was really almost the world leader in developing these kind of entertainment apps. as I said, the TikTok app is being copied by Facebook's Instagram and introducing Instagram Reels, which is almost a clone of TikTok. So certainly there's a scope for Indian app makers, but again, the Indian app, we have to see that the Indian app makers also do not uh, take access data which they could compromise the privacy of the individual. And there are certain international standards for data security and apps. For instance, there is ISO 27034 for application package security, and there is ISO 29100 for the data privacy, information privacy. So certainly the Indian government should ensure that all the Indian app makers adhere to these international global standards for information privacy, data privacy of the individual. And they should also ensure that all the data is stored on servers which are located within India, and which are subject to the Indian laws and Indian legal jurisdiction. Because
Okay.
otherwise, all this data was going to servers outside India in China and other places.
Ravi, when you say
Yeah.
they must ensure, who must ensure? Who is the regulator in this thing to ensure all these things?
Yeah, right now it comes under MeitY. So the Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics and Information Technology, they should ensure that all the apps which are being available within within the geolocation of India
Yes.
should adhere to these international standards of data and privacy, which is ISO 27034 for application security and ISO 29100 for data privacy and information privacy.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, but I
Yes.
hope they will do it. And one message one can say easily from this conversation is that the more you use apps, whether Chinese or Indian, the more you are vulnerable as far as personal data is concerned to
Yes.
those app makers. Is it not?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And they keep giving you these things that you click on that give this permission or give that permission when you download the app and start using it for the first time. But generally, if you do not give all the permissions, the app will not function. And then the Indian government is also trying to ensure that these Chinese handsets which are being sold in India, that they do not come preloaded with the Chinese apps. For instance, it is the browser Baidu, which is the big browser that is being used. Several browsers are there, and there was a PDF scanner, a card scanner, and an image document scanner, which in fact it was being used largely by by a lot of government officials to scan the official documents and upload the official documents.
Yes. So what is your advice? Uh, there must be a regulation, at least for the government sector people, to use against the use of unchecked apps. There must be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Absolutely. That all the apps which are downloadable within India or from ISPs located in India, there should be a check that all the apps meet these international ISO standards, as I said, for privacy and security. And we also have to ensure that all the data of Indian residents is stored and processed only on servers located in India and subjected to Indian jurisdiction.
okay.
And then you also have to see, the way the Chinese have penetrated is that they have invested in a lot of Indian startups. In fact, I was 18 of India's top 30 unicorns are majority Chinese owned,
Okay.
as per their venture capitalists.
Interesting. Okay. So are they helping Indian sector to grow, or are they outsourcing technology from here?
No, they're helping the Indian sector to grow because they're investing in the unicorns here. But when you're the major investor in a unicorn, certainly you're going to be driving its policies. So it is a very tightly interconnected economy. The Indian and Chinese economies are so tightly interconnected in electronics and software and hardware and telecommunications that it's going to be difficult to uncouple the Indian and Chinese economies, because then all the telecom equipment is bought
Yes,
from Huawei and ZTE. They've got all between a 20 and 60% market share, depending on which piece of equipment it is. About 50% of the handsets are again of the Chinese origin, and especially the high-end smartphones.
yes.
Uh, the question is that what is the firmware in these Chinese handsets, and what are the apps that are coming preloaded on these Chinese handsets, and what is the data that is going out from these handsets into to China, to servers located in China.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so those have to be monitored.
No, but what will be the impact of the ban, both in telecom and the apps, and this interconnection which you said is very, very, very strong.
Well, in the short term, a lot of people, let us say entertainers, models, actors, actresses, who earn a lot of money and who get a lot of following from TikTok and similar apps, they will be hit in that they will not be able to communicate with their fan base, and they will not be earning some money. And in fact, that was one of the criticisms against the ban on the gaming app PUBG, because there are so many people who young boys and girls who play games on PUBG, and they actually earn quite a bit of money from these games, and they are being hit. But sooner or later, there might be Indian apps which take over the space. It might take maybe a year to two to develop these kinds of apps and get them to the level that the Chinese apps were in terms of a user base and generating of revenues. But
Okay.
again, as you were saying earlier, all these are for very trivial issues, and they're not used for serious. These apps are rarely used for serious purposes of nation building or for the economy or industry. They're basically entertainment apps and gaming apps to play games and to make entertainment videos.
Okay. So, also one last question, which is that you should have heard about economist of London writing about claims of uh, Indian telecom operators or ISPs saying that the data usage in India has gone haywire. It's gone up, many fold. And they came out of the study saying that most of it is, as you said, the trivial use. The data is for trivial issues, trivial things, not business purposes, not anything major, which is of contributing to the economy as well as the country and the technology itself.
Yeah, essentially, more than 90% of the apps are just being used for trivial issues of playing games and making these entertainment videos. So basically, it is only for the lifestyle and luxury kind of people who have that amount of time and leisure time to spare in playing these games and making these videos for entertainment purposes. But it is that sector, the leisure and entertainment sector, which is a fairly major part of Indian economy in terms of, like Bollywood. For instance, a lot of the Bollywood stars and the TV stars, film stars, they are using apps like TikTok to reach out to their fan base and to also generate publicity and to generate income as well.
Okay.
So it is.
In short, this is only there is no serious effect of this ban. It's only the entertainment industry reaching out to its
Yes.
fan base kind of thing, which
Yes.
any other system or any other ways of communicating can compensate for it. Is it not?
Yes, certainly. I mean, these apps can be developed by Indian competitors also. But it is mainly the entertainment sector which is going to be hit. 90% of these apps are just used for very trivial purposes. Like PUBG is an app for playing games.
Yeah.
And really, among the list of apps that were banned, there was only one, the business app WeChat, which is, and then the e-commerce app, which has different applications of e-commerce, and then the browsers. But more than 90% of the apps are just very trivial for games and entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So that concludes our chat today.
Yeah.
Essentially, you are saying that these apps ban will have marginal effect on anything which is serious. It's only a symbolic act of protest. But the serious thing will be felt if the 5G trials, Huawei and ZTE are not allowed to join. Let's see how it plays out, because that will have impact on the pricing of the telecom services to handsets to everything in a later stage. So let's hope that the Indo-China situation improves and these things fall into place. And we can, as they say, that India offers it the cheapest telecom rate in the world. I hope it remains, and 100 crore odd people or 111 crore people are on the network. So let's hope things work out between India and China. And people, entertainers and others can also get onto this whole thing. So
sure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.